Hi, welcome to the shed. I'm the voice inside your head, and today I'm going to give you a walkthrough of our first baseline project. So start by creating a software instrument, and let's make this a drum set. I'm going to use my old trusty Bluebird here, and we need to create 3 one-measure drum patterns. So I'm just going to start out by pressing R on my keyboard. That is the hotkey for record. I'm going to play a one-measure drum pattern. That is eighth note based. 2. Nice and easy. Alright. I played it all together. You can play an instrument at a time, whatever you choose. Just highlight everything and make sure you're quantized. So make sure that your time quantize is set to whatever subdivision you played at and that everything lines up so it looks good. There are 3 different relationships that the bass has with the kick drum, and we're going to do the first one first, and that is where the bass plays every time the kick plays. So right now I have the bass on 1, the kick rather on 1, the kick on 3, and the and a 3. So that's when I'm going to play my bass. I'm going to create a new software instrument. I'm going to highlight a bass. I'm going to use this Upright Studio bass. I'm going to play it on 1, 3, and the and in 3. And I'm going to use the note A. It is this note right here, and it's A1, so it should be one of the lowest A's on your keyboard. The bass plays some low notes. You don't want to play up there. It's not gonna get what we want. So I'm gonna play a 1, 3, and the and a 3. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and okay. So the one rule that is the same for all these different types of relationships is that the bass plays the first time the kick plays, and most of the time that's on beat 1. So I played my bass on beat 1 with the kick, and then I have it on 3 and the and a 3. Now, when we're using drums, we don't have to worry about the end of notes, but when we're playing bass, we hear the end of the note. So you have to make sure that you move the end of the note to the nearest subdivision, the nearest line there. So now let's listen to it, and I'm just going to loop that first measure. We can hear what the first relationship sounds like. The bass and the kick are totally linked. 2, 3, and 4. Awesome. And if you wanted to make these longer or shorter, you can. Just make sure that they are metronomic, that they end at a certain time. Cool. So now we can work on our second type of relationship, and that is where the bass plays less than the kick. So I'm going to create a new drum pattern, and this one's going to be 16th note based. 2, 3, 4. And let's clean that up. Okay. Everything looks good. So I have the bass on 1, I have the bass on the of 2, on 3, the and of 3, and the E of 4. So if we're thinking about our rule, the bass is going to play on 1, and now it doesn't have to play on all of these. I'm going to put the bass on 1, I'm going to put it on the of 2, 3, and the and of 3, but I'm not going to put it on the E of 4. So I'm going to put them on all of them except for the and. So 1, of 2, 3, and the and of 3. Highlight your track. 1, 2, 3, and the end of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So you heard that bass drum by itself there. Make sure you quantize everything. And check the ends of your notes. Make sure that they are snapped to the nearest line. I wanted this short, so I'm going to snap it actually to the middle. And that's okay. Now let's listen to that second relationship where the bass plays less than the kick drum. Perfect. So now the last type of relationship is where the bass plays more than the bass drum. So let's create a new drum groove. I'm going to make this 8th note based. That is as simple as it gets. So I had the bass on 1 and 3, or the kick on 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, and then I had the hi-hat play on all the subdivisions. Let's quantize that. Now the bass can play a lead into the kick, and it can also play after the kick. So if I have the kick on 1 and 3, the bass is going to play on 1 because of our rule. It's going to play on 3. I'm going to also play it on the of 2. It leads into that kick. I'm also going to play it on the and of 4. So I'm going to play 1, of 2, 3, and the and of 4. Just line all that up, highlight it all. Let's fix the ends of those notes. You can tell this one wanted to be right there so bad, but just didn't make it. This is a really short note. Let's make it to the middle. Make it to there. And let's bring that all the way there. So now let's listen to that third relationship type, where the bass plays more than the kick, and it's playing a supporting role. It's helping that kick. Alright, so that's our first rule of bass line. There are 3 different relationships, and the bass and kick always play the first time the kick plays. Normally it's on beat 1. The bass and kick can play all together, the exact same times, the entire measure. The bass can play less than the kick, or the bass can play more than the kick. Alright, hope that helps. Happy jamming.